Hi, I'm Chef Sherry Ronning, and I'm here to show you how to make a ham and turkey sub sandwich on the Blackstone griddle. When you make a turkey and ham sub sandwich on the Blackstone griddle, super easy to do. It only takes a couple minutes. I like to make this for a quick lunch or even a quick dinner. We've done this several times for dinner when I'm trying to find something quick to make, and this a lot of times will check off all the boxes. So things that you need to have is a good bread. I like to use a sub sandwich bread. This one is a mini one. We found that the larger size were just too big for our family, so I usually just use the mini sub buns. Deli meat. So I prefer to go to the deli counter and ask for freshly sliced meat. You can buy the prepackaged kinds. You can slice your own, but for this recipe, this works really well just using thinly sliced. So I use thinly sliced cooked ham and then turkey. So, and it's kind of whatever preference you like. You can do smoked, you can do honey, you can do oven roasted, boiled ham, you can do the baked ham, the brown sugar ham. So it's up to you. So just get the two kinds that you like. And if you only want to do this with just ham, you can do it with just ham or do it with just turkey. And this recipe too is good to add add-ins on it. So I like to do sliced mushrooms. If I have them, I will just use some fresh sliced mushrooms that I put on there. You can do sliced onions. You can kind of mix and match and kind of do whatever you would like. So the first step is hot griddle, 400 degrees. I am using the lid on this because it helps with the melting process and the end there. And so you can always also use this make this recipe on the outside griddle. It's winter here in Michigan and very cold, and so I usually just use the electric griddle in the winter time. But in the summertime, I'll make this for a large crowd and do a whole bunch of them out there on the gas griddle outside. You can also do this in a saute pan on the stove. So I've done it all ways, and I just make this. We found out, we started with this recipe, we would go to our local mall, which our local mall is an hour and 15 minutes north of us. So we every so often make the trek and go to Traverse City to our local mall. And my kids, when they were younger, they discovered this sandwich at the food court. And so I'm like, we would go, and every time they would want this sandwich. And so I just decided, I'm like, I can make this at home. And I watched them cook it, and I'm like, it's a very simple sandwich to make. And so I've started making it at home, and luckily I did, because the sandwich shop there in the mall didn't last too long, and so they shut down. And so I've been making it at home ever since. So depending on what size, how much you're making, so I'm just gonna make just the one sandwich. So I'm going to use a couple slices of turkey, and I'm going to use a couple slices of ham, and you can add more, add less, depending on how your liking is on this. So some people like a lot of meat, and this is just what I found is a good for us. So like basically 4 slices of thinly sliced meat. And basically all I'm doing is I am just cutting it into small pieces. So I don't know if you could see this from there, but I cut it this way, and then now I'm going to cut it this way. So, and basically you're just going to end up with small pieces of meat like that. You can rip it, you can leave it whole when you put it on the griddle and then chop it up. It's kind of up to you. So I'm not using any like oil or anything, because the meat has its own juice and stuff, and I want the meat to kind of brown a little bit. So let's get started. It's very super simple to make this. So I'm just going to put I'm going to do the meat on one side, and then I'm going to show you the bread on the other side. So we're just getting the meat off of here, just putting it kind of in a pile, just like that. And then I'm going to take my bun, and you can dry toast this if you want to just put it on here. You don't have to toast it at all. You can warm it up, just in the microwave. I like it a little bit warm. So basically what I'm just going to do, I want a little bit golden brown toasted. So I'm just going to add a thin layer of butter as it's cooking. You don't want to wait to do this till the end, because then your meat will be ready and that'll get cold, and you want to do this all together. So thin layer. I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to just press it down just a little bit so that it gets good contact with the griddle here, this side here. So when I'm using the electric griddle, you want to make sure you only use plastic. Don't use the metal utensils. When you're using the outside one, the metal is preferred to use that. So I'm just gonna let this ham and turkey, the lunch meat cook. It is looking like it's getting brown a little bit. So it's been on here for maybe a minute while I was doing the bread. And so I'm just gonna toss it. And it does have its own moisture in it. So you're kind of cooking that out, and also cooking the meat a little bit. You want brown bits like this. Like you can see, little brown bits like that is what you want with this sandwich. These little brown bits is what gives it the flavor that you are looking for. And so basically, it's not a set time that you're going to cook this. You're looking to cook it by the looks of it and by how much moisture is in your meat. So everybody's deli meat is going to be different. So we're just going to let that cook like that. Let it get brown. So the cheese, I'm going to top it with cheese, and that's what I'm going to use the lid for. So once the meat is brown to where I'm going to like it at, I'm going to add a slice or two of the cheese, and this is also, you can adjust your cheese. I'm using provolone cheese. We like the provolone with this sandwich. You can use Swiss, you can use Colby, you can, any kind. Basically, a lot of times when I'm making this, if I don't have the right cheese, the slices of provolone, it's like I don't say, oh, I can't make this sandwich. A lot of times I have like shredded mozzarella in there, or shredded Italian cheese for like pizzas and stuff, and I'll use that. So it's, in my family, it doesn't really matter to them. They like it all the same. So for this demonstration, I'm going to show you just slices of provolone cheese, and I'm going to stir this now. It's getting, the moisture's getting cooked out of it, and it's starting to brown really well. And you don't want to rush this process, but you don't want it to get like super well done. You don't want a ton, you don't want your meat to burn, basically. So, ooh, perfect. This is perfect here. So I'm going to take this off because this is exactly how I want this. I don't want it to get too done. And I think this is good. So when you're doing this, you can actually do like a large, you could do several sandwiches on one griddle here. This griddle is pretty big. Even though it's a 17-inch, I could probably make 4 or 5 sandwiches on this easily. So I'm basically gonna put my meat in alignment to the size of the bun. So, because I'm gonna just take my bun, scoop it up, and put it right in So that's about the size of my bun that I'm using. The provolone, I'm just gonna keep it. Sometimes I'll break it in half and like move it around. I just say for the sandwich, one slice is gonna work just perfectly. So I'm gonna shut my grill off here. Okay. Okay, we shut the grill off, so we're just going to use the residual heat, and I'm going to put the lid down and we're going to let the cheese melt. The meat is already cooked, so we're just going to let the cheese melt on there, and I'm going to get ready for the sandwich. Okay, I have my plate here that I'm going to build the sandwich on, and we've got, once the cheese is melted, then I'm going to transfer that onto the bottom of the bun, and then you're going to top it with your favorite topping. So we like yes, we are a Miracle Whip family. We like Miracle Whip, so I'm going to be using Miracle Whip for the topping. And then I just took some lettuce, some fresh lettuce, and then just shredded it, just cut it up into pieces. You can leave it whole. You know, it's kind of up to you if you want like spinach. Sometimes I've used like fresh spinach in the sandwich, and it's really good. So, okay, I think, perfect. So, and this might be a little bit tricky. I'm gonna try to get this off in one scoop, and sometimes it doesn't work like that. So we're just gonna scoop it and put it on the sandwich like that, and the cheese is gonna wanna stick. You're gonna wanna try to get all of it off there so you're not wasting any of it. And then you're just gonna top it. Sometimes I'll serve it like this and let the person top however they would like. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of mayonnaise across there. You can do mustard if you want. You can make your own sauce if you like your own sauce on there. I just like a very simple sandwich. I don't like a ton of extra stuff on it, and I like to use the ingredients that I have on hand. So just gonna top it with lettuce. I like nice crisp fresh lettuce. And there you go. That is a perfect Blackstone Griddle ham and turkey sub sandwich. Nice and warm, will fill your belly up, and your family is going to love this. And it was a couple minutes just to make this. So let's give it a try. So good. Make this for your family today. Enjoy. If you like this recipe, please subscribe to my page. Like the recipe. Go to FromMichiganToTheTable.com. Look out all my other recipes. I have a ton of Blackstone Griddle recipes. I have smoker recipes. I have Midwestern cuisine recipes. So just go and poke around. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, a bonus tip that I'm going to give you here, when you're cleaning your griddle, to clean your griddle after this is done, it is going to be hard and kind of sticky there. So I'm going to shut off my griddle, and then you don't really want to scratch on it. I mean, it will come off a little bit, but what I like to do to clean this griddle is something, I mean, you can take a little bit of water and put on it. I like to just take a really wet paper towel, and as I'm eating my meal that I've got done, I'm just going to take this, be careful not to burn yourself, and then just set it on there and let it cool. I'm going to leave the lid off of it and let it cool. And I'm going to come back to it after I'm done eating, and I'm just going to be able to wipe it clean. It's going to be super easy. So give that cleaning tip a try. Thanks.